Good morning to everybody. I am Anthony De Los Santos. I am a network engineer and CCNE and CCNP certified. Also, I am AWS Advanced Network and Cloud Practitioner certified. In today's video, create a VPC. I will create one public and one private subnet. I will create an EC2 instance, which is Windows Server 2016. I will create a key pairs and security groups for the RDP. I will configure the internet gateway and route tables. And for the private subnets, we will use SSM Fleet Manager to remote desktop the instance, and also to give an internet access for the private subnet, I will use NAT gateway. And after all the settings and configuration, I will verify all the traffic flow based on our topology. Here's our topology. As you can see, the region with Asia Pacific, Tokyo. Okay, and then we will create a VPC, EC2, internet gateway, NAT gateway, and we'll install AWS System Manager. First, we need to select the region. From the AWS, when you log in, so first you have to select which region you want to create the VPC. So for me, I will use Osaka, and then click the VPC, and then click the your VPC, and then create VPC. We'll name it at Osaka VPC. Okay, Osaka, let's say Osaka, Japan VPC. Okay, I will use 10.1.0.0/16 network. So I will use this network. I will install it on the default, which is not a dedicated one, a shared one, and then create a VPC. That's the first step. After that, click your VPC, and then click this one, and then actions, edit VPC settings, and then enable the DNS hostname, and then save. Next, we will create two subnets, one public and one private. Okay, as you can see on your screen, click subnet, create a subnet. We will select the VPC, and then we will create a name for my subnet. I will write it public server -01. Availability zone will be Osaka. The subnet will be 10.1.1.0/24. Create the subnet. Next, I will create the second subnet and the private. So create a subnet, select the VPC, Japan. I will choose private subnet -02. Availability zone will be Osaka. Then the subnet will be 10.1.2.0/24, and then create subnet. Now, as you can see, we have two subnets. Okay, now next, we will create an EC2 instance on public subnet, and it is Windows Server 2016. So we have to go to the AWS and then type EC2, then select EC2, then instance, launch an instance, instance. Okay, next we'll create an EC2 instance for the public subnet. So from the VPC, from the AWS menu, you just type here EC2, then click, then instances. Okay, on the instances, I will launch a new instance.
I will name it Osaka public server 01. We'll copy this. I will select Windows Server. I will select Windows 2016 base. Next, we need to create a key pair. So I will name it as Osaka 2. Okay, just Osaka 2 only, and then create a key pair. So it will automatically generate, as you can see at the bottom. So I will show in a folder and then copy it and then save it to my folder so that it's easy for me to find also Osaka 2. We need to click the edit network. We need to select the VPC. We need to select the subnet, which is public. We need to enable the public IP auto assign. We need to create a security group. So I will create an Osaka security group. I will copy this and then paste it here on the description. So the security group is the one handling allowing that we can remote desktop the instance from outside, from anywhere to RDP. And then at the bottom, we need to select the enable host resource-based IPv4. And so I will launch.
So we go to the instance. So the number one is already here. We will create the next one. Okay, now let's create the private instance. So let's go to the EC2, launch an instance. Then I will select Windows. Let's select the 2016 Microsoft Server 2016 base. Then let's select the key pair that we created before. Let's edit the network. Select the VPC. Select the subnet, which is private. We don't need the auto assign public IP. We'll select the security group. And then on advanced, select the enable resource based. And then launch. As you can see now, the public and private instance already created. So next we need to create an internet gateway so that the public server will be able to I will be able to remote from my PC going to the AWS instance. What we need to do is we will install an internet gateway so that the public server will be able to communicate to the internet, and I am from the house, I'm here in my PC, I will be able to remote desktop the public server. We have to go to the VPC and then internet gateway. Okay, and then we need to create an internet gateway. I will put it Osaka internet gateway. Okay, and then create the internet gateway. After that, click the internet gateway, click and then actions, then attach to the VPC. So select the Osaka VPC and then attach the internet. Okay, next we'll create a route table. So we'll create a new route table. We will set Osaka route table. This one will be used by the VPC to communicate to the internet gateway. Create a route table. You need to edit the routes. Click add. If you want to go anywhere, use the internet gateway. So, and then we'll select this and then save the changes. After that, click on the route tables and then click here, and then on the action, edit subnet association. We will associate this route to the public server. We are telling that the public server should be able to use the internet gateway using this route. Save the association. Next, we will check if we can remote desktop the public server. What you have to do is click this actions. We need to get the password of public Windows server. Upload the key pair that you created before. Okay, decrypt, copy the administrator, put it on the notepad, copy the password, go back to the instance, and then go to the public. So copy the public DNS and then open your remote desktop from your PC, from your house, paste the DNS, connect, and then it will ask a username and password. The username will be administrator, and then the password will be the password that I saved. Okay, now I'm remoting the EC2 instance, public EC2 instance. So let's check first if we have Google access, since it has internet gateway. So add this one, add close. As you can see, I was able to access the internet. Another thing, since we need to test the between the VPC, the ping, the ICMP, it's better during the testing, let's turn off the firewall so that when I ping, it will reply from the private subnet to public subnet. We are done on testing the public instance. So in order to remote this of the private without using the internet gateway here, I will be installing the what we call AWS System Manager. So the System Manager has a software to remote desktop this private instance without going to the internet. But you need to activate that services. So to activate that service, you have to create first the IAM rules. So from here, we'll create rules, create rule, AWS, and then you will select EC2 here, and then here EC2 role for AWS System Manager. Next, and then next, I will put this one Osaka SSM 02. We'll create the rule. After you create the rule, you need to create an endpoints. So you have to go to the VPC, go to the endpoints, create a new endpoints. I will create this SSM, the name, and then AWS. I'll just type it here. So SSM Northeast. After that, you have to click the ready button, select the VPC, and then select the subnet where you're gonna apply. So private subnet, and then security group, I will choose the Osaka security group. Okay, and then create the endpoint. Next, I will add more one endpoint. So create another one. The name is Osaka EC2 messages. AWS EC2 messages. Click this service. Select the VPC. Select the subnet, which is private, and then select the security group, which is Osaka, and then create the endpoint. The last one, the name is Osaka SS messages. So here, SS messages, SSM messages, this one. And then click on the ready button. Okay, enables subnet will be in private, and then security group will be Osaka, and then create the endpoints. Okay, next you need to go to the security group. Okay, you need to click the security group. On the inbound rules, we need to add inbound rules. We'll add all traffic. Okay, using going to this security group will be allowed, and then we'll add another one. We'll add the ICMP. Going to this security group also will be allowed, and then save. Okay, Okay, the next thing you have to do is we need to paste this PowerShell to the instance. So you have to go to the instance, go to instance, select the private, okay, and then open it. First you have to do is action, security, modify IM. So as you remember, we create an SSM role. So this is the one Osaka SSM2 before. So update. Another thing, we need to stop the private server so that we can edit the, without stopping we cannot modify the data. Okay, stop the instance, stop. So now open the stop private, go to actions, instance, and then edit user data. We will copy this PowerShell, and then I will paste it here, and then save. After that, we'll start the instance. The private server now is on. Now we'll test to connect to the private instance on the RDP. Okay, so select the private, connect, RDP, connect for the fleet, like this. We will connect using key pair, choose Osaka, click open, and then connect. So as you can see, I was able to remote desktop the Osaka private server without using the internet gateway. As a testing, we will go to the instance, the public server. So here, you can see this is the local IP address 10.1.1.77. We will ping from the private server, ping what 10.1.1. What's the number? 77. As you can see, I can ping the public server. So I will try to the browser to go to the Google, and also I will ping the 8.8.8.8. As you can see, the private server will not be able to communicate to the internet. So because it is not using the internet gateway, so but to give them an internet, we need to install the NAT gateway. Okay, this task is very simple. We need to configure the NAT gateway to provide the internet for the private subnet. Okay, so this is the scenario. So NAT gateway is only allowing traffic initiated from inside going to outside. So this is more safer than we're using only the internet gateway. We will add an NAT gateway on the public subnet. Okay, so that we will be able to, from the private server, we will be able to communicate to the internet. Okay, let's start it from the VPC. Okay, go to NAT gateway and then create a NAT gateway, and then I will put is Osaka NAT gateway. Okay, select the subnet. So I will use the NAT gateway. I will install the NAT gateway. Should be on the public subnet. It should be on the public subnet, and then allocate the classic IP and then create NAT. Let's go to the NAT settings, pending. Okay, next you need to go to the route table. We will create a new route. Okay, so we'll name it Osaka route using NAT gateway. Select the VPC, Osaka. Okay, and then create a route. And then after that, we need to edit the route. We need to add, if you want to go to the internet, you use the NAT gateway, and the name of the NAT gateway is this. And then save. After you save, you have to go to the actions, subnet association, and then you have to select the private and then save the association. And then now we will do the testing. So from the remote desktop before, as you can see, I was not able to ping the Google, but now I will ping. It should work. As you can see, I was able to ping the Google after I configure the NAT gateway for the private subnet. And also, if I will go to google.com, as you can see, I was able to communicate from private subnet using the NAT gateway like this. So I'm accessing the internet using the internet NAT gateway, going to the internet. I think this is the complete of my videos. Okay, based on our goal, we already created the VPC, the subnets, EC2 key pairs. We configure the internet gateway. We configure SSM Fleet Manager to remote desktop the private instances. We also configure a NAT gateway, and we verify that all the traffic is working fine. And thank you so much for watching this video.